Breaking tonight, new fallout from Donald Trump's latest attack on Hillary Clinton. He's taken some heat after bringing up the story of Vince Foster in a recent interview with the Washington Post. Multiple investigations have found that Foster, who worked in the Clinton White House, took his own life. But critics are saying Mr. Trump was trying to suggest something else when he told the Post, quote, whether it's Whitewater or whether it's Vince or whether it's Benghazi, it's always a mess with Hillary. And he went on from there. Chris Direwalt is our Fox News digital politics editor. Chris, good to see you. So he went on to say, it's one of those like, I'm not saying it, but
I didn't.
Other people are saying that Vince Foster was murdered. I wouldn't say it, but other people are saying that, and that's bad for Hillary.
Very serious, he said, very serious concerns, very fishy, he said, and then he also put the sort of, you can hear the raised eyebrow almost coming in when he says, you know, he knew all of this stuff, he's right in the middle of everything, and then boom, he commits suicide, huh? And he leaves that hanging, and it is all the way back to 1993. This is the same thing that we heard in 1993, and then, as you pointed out, really 3 or 5 investigations, 2 of them by the special counsels, one that went on for 3 years, Park Police with oversight, checked and rechecked, and suicide was the verdict in each case.
Including Ken Starr, who was behind the investigation into Bill Clinton. I mean, it's like this guy is not a Clinton fan. But just set the stage. So Vince Foster worked with the Clintons. He worked for the Clintons. He helped her become a partner at the Rose Law Firm. So they were friends. And then he killed himself, leaving behind a widow and 3 kids. And then I mean, I've heard this rumor before that somehow she's responsible for his death or she had him murdered. I mean, you know, you go to the craziest portions of the internet, you'll hear anything. Why do people continue to say this?
So the way that it works, so he's 48, father of 3. He had been really a big deal and considered a white knight, a good guy in Arkansas. And he was Hillary Clinton's mentor at the Rose Law Firm. He comes to Washington to help them out. He's put in as deputy White House counsel. He's doing the stuff there, and he stinks at it. It's going very poorly. He's helping these people get ready for confirmation. Their confirmations go down in flames. The Clintons fire everybody in the White House travel office. He's in charge of the investigation into that. And everybody's saying, and it's being said in the Wall Street Journal editorial page and everywhere else, this is a cover-up, this is a sham, this is a disaster, and he sees his reputation that was once so sterling shredded. He starts freaking out. He gets on antidepressants from his hometown doctor, but he is coming unwound, and everybody says so, and that's why people think that they say he was covering something up, or the Clintons were covering something up he knew and was going to blow the whistle on it, and that's why, says the internet, something more happened.
The internet says one thing, and 6 investigations, including one by Ken Starr, say something very different, which is the man took his own life and murder had nothing to do with it. Chris, good to see you.
You bet.
Joining me now with reaction, Bill Bennett, host of the Bill Bennett podcast on BillBennett.com and author of Tried by Fire. Bill, good to see you. I mean, this...
Thank you.
You know, it's like, so Trump brings this up, but it does just sort of show you, like, oh, here we go again. You know, should he be going there?
No, he shouldn't be going there. But remember one thing about Donald Trump. He likes to fight. He'll take a good fight. He'll take a bad fight.
There are lots of things to fight with her over.
Yeah, well, exactly, and things you can tie her to, things that she's obviously tied to and probably guilty of, things that are right there in the news. You don't need this. He brought this up, and as Chris pointed out, he then kind of played with it a little bit and then dropped it. I think this is evanescent. I think this is gone tomorrow. Remember, one thing about Trump, he can change the subject that he brought up the next day.
What do you make of the other thing he's been taking some heat for today is he went after very popular New Mexico Governor Susana Martinez, Latina, first Republican Latina governor in the state, and here's what he said about her yesterday.
We have to get your governor to get going. She's got to do a better job, okay? Your governor has got to do a better job. She's not doing the job. Hey! Maybe I'll run for governor of New Mexico. I'll get this place going. She's not doing the job. We got to get her moving. Come on, let's go, governor.
Why?
Yeah, well, as you're unofficial scorer. You know, why go after Susana Martinez, as the poet says, let me count the ways. She's a woman, she's Hispanic, she's a Republican governor, she's chairman of the Republican Governors Association. I'm sorry to make light of this. A lot of good reasons not to. And then he accuses her of welcoming in Syrian refugees into New Mexico, which isn't true. This, again, I think, is he'd rather fight than switch. If he's in New Mexico, he reads something, he realizes she hasn't endorsed him, she doesn't like him, so he picks this fight. This was not a good decision. This was not well advised. But well advised. I mean, who's advising? He's his own advisor. Let me just say this.
Yeah.
As somebody who's been around a while, the most dangerous time is when things are going well for you. It's when you're going uphill and you got to watch every step. You be careful. When things are going well, and things are now going very well, Republicans are falling in behind him, conservatives are falling in behind him, money's starting to come in. This is when he needs to be careful about a mistake.
You know, the thing is, though, Trump does have a way of dominating every day's news. You know, I mean, Hillary makes no news except for when she gets in trouble with her State Department for stuff she told us that wasn't true, which is good for Trump. But he has a way of staying in the headlines, good, bad, or indifferent. That has helped him to date. Does it continue to help him in a general election contest?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I think so, because, you know, the rule in Washington that I learned is you're on offense or you're on defense. You know, you're either on one or the other, and he's constantly on offense. People say, well, gee, will this do it? Will this do him in?
Yeah.
Nothing will do him in, because he'll do something the next day to make you forget what he said the day before. But as long as he continues to stay on, offense, he looks good. But he needs to be careful, because there are lines and there are things that do distress people. So he needs to be careful. I would emphasize the things that people have resonated to: loving the country, putting Americans first, reminding Americans that they've been shafted and they deserve better. Those are the things, I think, that have to dominate his message.
Bill Bennett, always great speaking with you, sir.
Thank you. Thanks for not making me part of the first segment. I appreciate that.
You would have been Greg Brady, the elder statesman.
The fifth wheel. The fifth wheel, right, exactly.
Great
Thank you, dear.
Great to see you, sir.
Thank you.